Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 7 of the Crystal Chronicles, your Final Fantasy Record Keeper podcast. My name is Pierre. As usual, I'm joined by my co host, Ben. Hey, Ben.
Hello.
How's it going?
I'm doing very well on this fine date of April 20th,
You,
2016.
you just beat me to the punch. I
And
was going to do that.
I don't know. I think our first kind of event on the calendar is a bit appropriate with the date.
Yeah, it's just, when you record these things and listen after, it might sound kind of dumb when there's so many things that are given. If you take an extra day or two to learn about these different battles, I guess, or events.
And how about we get right to the green, as they would say, with a
The guy Saul or the guy Yes Saul, it depends who at dinner is writing those announcements.
I'm sure some intern might have gotten scolded.
Just for people watching the podcast or rewatching it on YouTube, we're making fun of Dana's lack of proofreading when it comes to certain spell abilities description or announcements. If you look at the announcement that was posted this morning, it for some reason the title there's an extra A in it. It's just kind of funny after you realize that they took 2 or 3 days to fix the Q-Rays white magic ability that for a couple days the description read as restored a large amount of KP to one target, and it pretty much had a lot of players confused, wondering what those new Koopa points as
We
you
were all
had.
racking our brains as to what KP could stand for. Personally, I was hoping it was a kitchen patrol. It's,
I like your idea of Koopa points. It flew well with the
yeah, I
system.
mean, Dr. Mog can only give so many hints before he needs some incentive. You gotta restore those Koopa points every once in a while. Don't neglect them.
Yeah, I'm sure there's somebody at Dana right now that's realizing those gems. They could totally have been called those Koopa points.
Oh yeah, and it just there are enough jokes about appeasing Dr. Mog just by spending money, but.
Ouch. Honey, I gotta play Final Fantasy tonight. I don't have enough Koopa points to skip it for a night.
Yep.
All right, so about those screens, we were saying, basically, there's an event that started, I believe, on the 20th. That is called the Double the Geisel Green campaign, which basically means that for any daily dungeons, and I'm just gonna make a quick cut here, Dana, I hate it when you pull stupid crap like that. And
Whoa.
also for dungeon rewards, it gives you double of the Geisel greens you're getting. So they launched the new dungeons, which was great. I liked it, but then a couple days later, they come out and say, "Hey, you know what? For a week, you're gonna get double of everything." And then you tell yourself, "Oh, wait, didn't I just
Maybe I should have held off on clearing them, yeah.
Well, yeah, what the hell? If you're going to do something like this, do us a favor. Either launch the campaign day one or kind of let us know about it ahead of time. I mean, what's the deal with that?
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on this one. It was a bit irresponsible to launch the double Guy Solo Green event like a good well, I'm just gonna correct you right here. So the event launched on the 16th,
Correct.
and the new okay, actually the events don't go that low as to when the new daily dungeons were released.
It was on the 12th.
Thank you. I was on the so full 4 days. So technically, not all of you. There's no way for you to clear all the dungeons and not get double rewards. But that's a good 4 days of the week to not get those double rewards, which is a
It,
bit sucky.
it's just in terms of planning your game. I don't understand how these things, either put it like a couple days after, but it's just like 4 days. It seems so random, kind of lack of planning, or I don't know. But anyway, uh, As far as we know right now from data mining certain information in the game, I'm telling you ahead of time. So now we all know that this campaign will end on the April 25th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm telling you right now, there should be another campaign starting on May 13th, so on Friday, May 13th, that will last for 3 days for some reason. And another one would start on May 20th and it would last another 3 days. So, again, this is preliminary information, data mined from the game information right now. It could be totally wrong, it could be good. But just so you know ahead of time, there should be two other campaigns going on next month for double the greens. So if you rent out of greens, you might want to take a look at those.
Yep.
And again, just to make sure that you go into the Fat Chocobo window of the game, portion of the game, the Gaia Exchange, and that you take your you exchange your mithril before April 27th, and that you get your memory loads before May 11th, because after that they run away.
Yep, and I guess that covers the ever-changing world of daily dungeons for this week. So I guess now's a good time to go back because in the confusion of last week, our episode 6.2, we forgot to cover the new abilities that came with the Final Fantasy VI event. So there are only two, so let's just divulge right into them. There's a Cure's, 4-star white magic, which kind of has a dual-sided effect. It restores a large amount of HP or revives the target if they're KO'd. So this is I like this move because a lot of the time you try and cast a healing spell on an ally who's really low, and they end up dying to a weak AoE attack. Now with this one, it's kind of like a saving grace. Sure, you might end up losing medals for KOs, but I think what'll be more important is just finishing out the battle. You could think of this attack as like a hard read of when your ally is going to get KO'd. Maybe if you're using like a draw attack strategy, this attack will be really good, or this healing spell will be really good as a way to either just cure an ally or just keep them in the fight, which I really like.
Just to make sure, did you say that if you revive an ally, you lose a medal for KO?
Well, for characters KO'd, I'm pretty sure those go down even if allies are revived, correct?
Actually, no. That's how it was when the global game launched, but they changed it a few weeks after. If you revive your characters and they stay alive till the end of the battle, basically those medals are awarded depending on when the battle ends.
Jeez, an old-time player like me can't keep up with the times after such a simple update. I'm very sorry for that, but
Well,
thank you
the
for that
times
correction.
they are changing, so.
Yep. So then the next ability is the 5-star Ninja Doppelblade, which deals 2 physical attacks to all targets with a moderate chance to sap them. Sap, it's kind of an underutilized status effect, but I like it how it's seeing more use in this AoE attack. Normally, no, I guess ninjas have gotten their fair share of AoE. It's kind of split between the samurai and the ninjas in a war of who is the best AoE attacks that deal status effects. But hopefully this will balance out the sides.
So let's see, and right now there's only 5 characters that can equip it, and there's Edge, Shadow, Yuffie, Tancred from Final Fantasy XIV, and obviously Tyro, aka the Keeper.
Mm-hmm. So once again, so sorry for forgetting about reviewing those last week, but it's not like bonus battles in which they'd go away. And Pierre, you have listed here in the outline that you might want to return to the bonus battles. Is there anything you'd want to add? I know last week we were very hasty about reviewing them just because they had just come out, but do you have any notes to
add? Well, for starters, I like them. Obviously, I'm a huge Final Fantasy VI nerd, so anything that I can get out of that comes from that game, I'll be really happy. I have to say, for some reason, confronting fate gave me a whole lot more trouble than possession.
Really?
For that first battle, I don't know why. Ordos would
Mm-hmm.
just keep countering with fire. I don't know. I guess I don't know if I didn't take that battle seriously enough and ran in with too low level folks. But other than that, it was really really fun. Really enjoyed it. Did you get all of them done?
No, I'm just on confronting fate as well. I've been really busy this week, but I am really committed to finishing them out before they expire tomorrow. So,
That is right, folks.
yep.
Already, my. Okay, and let's see. So, a new event is here and brings Vincent, Final Fantasy VII character.
Yep.
Let's see. So
It's a
the
lot of
event.
people's favorite characters. I don't know. Have you ever played Dirge of Cerberus? That's the game that he's featured in, right?
Well, he's in Final
Well,
Fantasy
yeah, he's in
VII
Final
as well.
Fantasy VII. Then Dirge of Cerberus. Isn't it Star Vincent? The action game. Yeah, it's all about Vincent, right? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I haven't played it. Have you?
No, I haven't actually. I'm sorry.
Great dog. That's okay. Moving on to the event itself. What can you tell us about Vincent?
Basically, he's an offensive magic user, just like in Final Fantasy VII, where he's one of the strongest magic users you can have in this game. He's a gun user, so he brings to the table, I guess, he's going to bring magic guns with magic stats. He can also equip daggers, rod, and staff. In armor, he's pretty lightweight, so hat, bracer, light armor. His abilities are 5 or, if you want, eventually 6-star black magic, 4-star summoning, and 4-star support abilities.
Yep. So it strikes a really nice blend. It's kind of like Yuna is the gunner white mage. Vincent's kind of the gunner black mage. It's really nice
You're
with
right.
high summoning
I
support.
hadn't made that link before. You're
Yep.
absolutely right.
So I guess we'll move on to his soul breaks.
So looking
It's-
at this real quickly, he's like a less strong Terra because I'm looking at her right now, and she can have 5-star summoning. She can also have 4-star support, and just for extra goodies, because she's Terra and she's just a machine, she can use 3-star white magic.
Yeah, but you also have to remember, unless you equip Terra with a sword and put her on the front line, she's not going to be useful clearing those waves of auto battles. Vincent, on the other hand, can be useful in the back row with guns, but then in boss fights, you can bust out magic to be able to take down bosses more efficiently.
That's absolutely correct. Unless with Terra, you're using one of my favorite recurrent materia ever lately for all of the auto battle trash. It's
Flower of Tropia?
let me tell you, I believe it is. Yeah.
Yeah, the one that turns attacks into Holy Elemental?
No, it's
No?
why
Is it
am I-
Vivi's?
Yeah, it's Vivi's Black Mage Awakening. There we
Oh,
go.
that's a really good one too. And
Oh my, that
yeah.
thing is awesome.
So yeah, I guess we can talk about Vincent's
Yeah, but
soul
we'll
breaks.
get to that recurrent material a little later on the show anyway.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
So about Vincent soul breaks. Let's see. He has a default soul break called Headshot that deals 4 ranged physical attack to one target, and then he has a soul break called Cerberus Shell, which if you're lucky enough to draw the shotgun in the current banner, does as follows: deal 4 non-elemental magic attacks to all target and raise the magic of all allies.
Wow. So I guess I was right. He is that the Cerberus title. Maybe it's a move. No, because weren't his limit breaks in Final Fantasy VII all about transforming into monsters?
I know he transformed in one of like auto battles stupid mob, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I really don't use that limit break all that often because I'm actually finishing Final Fantasy VII on my
Oh,
iPhone every now and then, and so I've got him in my party. But I really don't use that limit break because you kind of lose a character for a whole time. That's there's no
yeah.
real advantage in a boss battle to lose him. So
Okay. So I guess his new record materials, Flesh Undying, gain a small amount of magic when a gun is equipped, further enforcing that gun mage archetype that I like. And then there's Unerring Shot, which is the kind of the tier two gun damage boost compared to I believe it's Master Sniper, which is Irvine's, and then Laguna has a gun damage upgrade record materia. So it's just another tier up from that, which is nice.
actually, on hearing shot, isn't it exactly like the same as what the second tier Irvine recurrent materia?
Oh yeah. Wait, oh yes, that's right. Irvine has the second tier, but then
Yeah,
I'm
Master
confusing myself.
Sniper deals significantly more damage when a
Okay,
gun is equipped.
that's right. Because Irvine's one was released first, but it was the second. It's a second tier weapon boost.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
correct.
confusing.
But there's one thing that I wonder. When they say deal significantly more damage when a gun is equipped, we're talking about like attack and auto attack damage, right?
Yes. I believe it's applied to any abilities as well when equipped with a
Okay,
gun.
so basically
But
your
that would be
magic would deal more damage if you have a gun equipped.
that's correct. So unerring shot would boost physical attacks from a gun, say if you're using support abilities on Vincent, whereas Flesh Undying would just boost any magic attacks, be it I guess spells or his soul break.
All right, that makes sense.
Okay.
If we go over the event relic draw banner for this one, what do we have here?
Let's see.
There's really two big weapons. They're the shotgun that we talked about that gives Vincent Cerberus Shell, and there's the light rod that gives what's his face
Reno.
Reno Turk Bombshell, which goes as follow: deal 3 magic non-elemental attacks to all target with a high chance to silence and sleep them if they're vulnerable to these status ailments, obviously.
Yep. Just to note about both these super soul breaks is that they give a boost to magic upon mastery. Um, just note that because yeah.
But other than that, it's just, there's a pinwheel for Yuffie. There's Sephiroth's coat that
Which is old.
when it says read the users in flames for Sephiroth.
Nephilim Nightmare, that might be the same type of effect as Lightning Stormborn, which gives your attacks a lightning elemental property. So that might be good. That type of soul break's really good for long drawn out battles with bosses with elemental weaknesses. When you're totally run out of spell blade charges, you're able to use a soul break that'll power up your auto that'll power up your regular attack.
All right, that makes sense. So it's not like a sap or poison that would like give you
Oh no,
damage
it's not
because
a
you're on
negative effect.
fire.
No.
Okay.
Think of it if you for anyone who's played Final Fantasy 13, there's the N flame and arrow, those types of abilities that give your attacks that elemental property.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. All right.
Okay.
So let's see. Let's do a draw real quick.
All right.
So
For all those live viewers, you get to relish in Pierre's either luck or failure. For those who are not listening or watching live, we implore you next week to join us on Twitch TV, twitch.tv/ FFRK Central, so you can witness the draws live. And we will keep.
okay, it's wow, 3 5 star.
Oh, wow.
So I'll let you tell me when you see it on the stream, so I won't.
I. Okay, yeah. I just had to unpause and pause. Oh man, if you get both Super Soul Rakes, I'm gonna be mad because I'm just from the daily dungeon draw mithril. I've just been chucking that stuff away. I've just been keeping up with so many mobile games. Um, it's still going for me, so I'm gonna really talk quickly. In Kingdom Hearts Unchained X, the 3,000 crystal uh, draw, I was able to get 4 5 stars, which was really nice. Here they come. Let's see what you got. Striking Staff, that's the FF7 rod. Golden Armlet, that gives Mass Protect. And Zax's Glove, the only unique soul break amongst them, which is deal 3 ranged physical attacks to all enemies with a high chance to interrupt their actions. That's okay. So let's
I
run up the other
was
two.
I would lie if I told you that I'm not a little bit
I
deceived.
mean, you got 3 5 stars, so you shouldn't be complaining that much.
Yeah, but you got me all excited at the idea of having both Super Soul Breaks. I thought that
I
was
must
it.
have ruined it for you. Oh
You
well.
totally jinxed it. You
Yep.
scared the Super Soul Break out of my
Listen, I
draw.
was talking about my luck in Kingdom Hearts X Unchained, and that must have just spoiled your luck.
Ah, it's alright, I forgive you.
Oh well. So that's funny. I see on your on the data on FFRK Central, Zax's glove is the most drawn item,
Well, it's the most, yeah,
drawn
drawn
5 star
item
rather.
out. It's based on, from what I see right now, about 6,300 draws. So it's the most draw out of all the 5 stars. So I guess,
I guess I could post this data in chat for people, and you can find it yourself.
all
So
right. So let's see what else. So what? How many stars out of 5 would you give this banner?
oh, that's a good call. That's a good question. Let's see. I'll give it a 3. It has some decent stuff, but nothing really meta changing like we've seen in the past. No bursts, no like you could say that Vincent's Cerberus Shell is really good for all mage teams, but I think that's about it.
Yeah, it's not too strong. I'd give it a 2.5. I mean, that whole
Really.
event was a little bit short, and it you feel it even in the relic draw banner. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, the event did bring some good things, such as the really powerful dancer abilities that I think we should go over right now.
hey, you know what? I just look at the outline, and you won't believe what's right under even relic
You
draw.
think I do? You underestimate my segue skills, Pierre. This is the problem. I'm always one step ahead of the game.
All right, so Mr. Stepper Denser, why don't you go ahead and tell us what's new in it? What are the new
Dang.
abilities?
Okay, let's see if I could pronounce these types of dances. We have box step sarabande. I don't know what the origin of these dances are, but it is a 4 star dancer ability, and it significantly reduces the defense of all targets for a short amount of time. Shouldn't targets be changed to enemies? Wasn't there a whole freaking syntax update? Not
Yeah,
syntax, but
yeah. I think no, I think they changed it to targets. Let me
huh.
see on
I mean,
ffrkcentral.com
you can't
where.
target your party with dancer abilities, but um, anyway, it's basically mass armor breakdown minus the damage. So that's really good for group bosses. And then
You're
we have
right. You're right. They changed a lot of um, abilities to go from targets to enemies. So they just kind of went over their own.
guess they didn't get somebody didn't get the memo. So then we have Heathen Frolic Sarabande, which is significantly reduces the magic of all targets for a short time. Once again, it's like a breakdown type effect. So enemies that reduce breakdown skills, this will not be as efficient on. And next, we have probably like the next big meta changing skill, at least for certain boss fights. It is multi break, 5 star dancer ability, temporarily reduces the attack, magic, defense, and resistance of all targets. So it's mass full break and is only usable by three characters right now. Mog, Pinello, and Tyro. So it's a bit exclusive, but it's definitely a nice ability for certain boss fights. Um, Use it when applicable, I guess. But hopefully, if you clear out those bonus battles, you'll snag one for free.
Just as let me check the outline. I think I just went ahead of myself on that one. One sec. We were about to talk about the bonus battles, and just so you know, there's two battles that have just been released as we started the podcast. They are called. Let's see. Scroll up. Eternal Rest and Ultimate Plus battle, and the other one is Uncheck Ambition, which is an ultimate battle. So for the Vincent event, those are two new ultimate battles that have just been added tonight. The first one will give you, if you the first time you complete it, 3 white major white orb and 1 Cerberus Relief 7. And if you master it, you'll get 4 major dark orbs and 1 fire crystal. And the second one, Eternal Rest, if you complete it, you'll get 1 non-elemental crystal, 3 major dark orb, and if you master it, you'll get 4 major white orb and 3 major holy orb. The first battle is about defeating, Rufus and his little kitty. And the second battle is about...
It's against Hojo, right?
Yeah, it's against Hojo in his live form, Hojo and form thingy, so...
Yeah. Wow, this is the kind of the advent of Ultimate Plus battles. Just when you thought it couldn't get any more Ultimate, they just stick on a plus. It's like a little kid saying, "No, I'm the most powerful. My character is the best. He is Ultimate Plus." Things are getting out of hand.
Yeah, someone comes and just kicks you down the hill and claims he's the new boss. That's how it usually works. So,
Okay. So,
were you ready to...
this is... I thought we only had to deal with those 3 bonus battles. I was so confused. I'm like, why is there no ultimate showing up on FFRK Central and my one-stop website for all my info on the game? Pierre, I'm so lost, but I'll do my best. So, I guess going over the bonus battles, just the plus Genova spell. It is a recycling of the classic Genova battle that we've seen in the core dungeons and in so many past events. Really simple strategy is just either use sleep or stop to stop Genova, and that's about it. Don't use water attacks. Keep up defenses, protecting the shell, and really, I mean, the one thing I've always done for this Genova battle is bring Sephiroth and just stop on him, and then just wail on Genova for the whole battle. But yep. And then I guess for the plus plus battle, we have the battle with the Turks, which is also a recycled fight. Let's see. What's the... I'm trying to get my bearings here on what's the best strategy for this. Is this the deal where you only have to defeat one of them, or...
I don't think so. No, I think you gotta kill all of them.
No. You'll face Reno, Rudin, Elena
Oh,
together,
yeah,
but
no,
you
that's
don't
right.
have
Oh, wow,
one
that
of them
was...
planned. Yeah. I think the easiest one to take... So first, they're all weak to slow and poison.
They all have the same HP exactly.
Yeah. I think... I think the strategy here is to use slow on Reno and Rude, I guess all of them, and then take down Elena because she has Um, no, no, I'm confusing myself. Essentially, just debilitate two, and you take down one. If you have the highest hone of a certain element, be it fire, lightning, or blizzard, choose who to take down based on that. Um,
Just one quick thing. I just saw that the two ultimate battles I was talking about, they've just been added to, I would say, the game files that I data mine, but they're not available yet. They will only show in your game and unlock at precisely 9 p.m. Eastern time on tomorrow on the 21st. So I apologize for those I just confused.
yeah, me including. Okay,
So,
so you have the battle with Genovi, battle with the Turks, and then triple plus is the ultimate weapon. This battle, just as a cursory glance, he's weak to it's weak to slow, and then only resistant to break effects. So definitely bring along full breaks, or um, maybe just individual types of breaks. Immune to everything else. Don't use earth or water on him, and yeah, just keep up with defenses like protect and Shelga. Maybe use Sentinel's Grimoire. Maybe use Mighty Guard 8. And one of the medals is to reduce ultimate weapons magic. So maybe bring that could be achieved, I guess, a number of ways, either through full break or magic breakdown, or maybe one of the new dance ability. So yeah, I think the real fights are in the ultimates this event, which were just released. So you'll have to excuse me because I have just as much information as all of you at this point.
yeah, we'll probably cover those next Wednesday when there's about 24 hours left on them. So
Yeah.
stay
Um,
tuned.
Stay tuned indeed. To be continue.
Okay, let's see. So that was pretty much it for the Vincent event. Do you see yourself using Vincent in your party moving forward?
I'd say only if I were to draw one of his relics. I mean, he's a cool character, but without the equipment to back him up, like none of my guns have magic on them, so that's kind of limiting in his usage because they're just a lot better physical gunners, and I just don't see the need to use them if I don't have his special guns. I give him magic.
Yeah, I don't see myself using him either. Again, I'm super. I'm a huge fan of Terra, so that's probably where my magic is going for a
Yeah.
while. And then there's Vivi, and there's just so many good magic users, as you said, unless you get the super
He just
soul
kind
break
of
weapon.
falls. He just kind of falls between the cracks of better characters. It's a cool niche to fill if you have his relics, but sadly, um, based on its own stats and generic equipment you would pick up, he just doesn't make the cut.
Do you think we're gonna see the day, like long term, short term, where Dana will just open a shop that lets you buy certain items for money flat out?
It's really tough to say when in because you have to take into account the rest of the mobile gaming market and how or I guess mostly I guess games in this type, gachapon type drawing games. You get what I'm saying?
More or less.
The kind of availability to just buy an item defeats a lot of the purpose because let's be honest, they're getting us to gamble on these items. So for them to just be able to say, "Hey, here, you can buy it," it would really kind of strike a dilemma in the future with how they would handle relics.
Well,
But maybe we'll cover this issue in the future.
my issue with it, and I'll be super quick, is that right now in certain mobile games you can pay to win, which means you spend X amount of money, get something, and you're stronger with it. Now, the thing that bugs me is that when you pay money to buy gems. It's pay to maybe win and probably lose. So I don't see how a lot of people will constantly repeat it and put back money. And it's like putting money in a slot machine
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
almost never pays. You eventually move on to something else or keep the money in your pocket. But anyway, that's just me.
Okay. And
I would
I
hope
think
eventually they'd do it, but yeah, I guess it would kind of break their system.
yeah. And I believe it's time to introduce a new segment of the show.
Yay! We've been ending those shows for a while, saying if you've got questions, please send them to us at ffrkcentral@gmail.com, and we would try to address them on the show. And Connor has taken us upon it and sent us an email, which I'll read in a couple of seconds, and then we'll discuss. It says, "What I'm wondering is, do you think a Magic team is viable as a physical attack team? When we're talking top tier, magic attacks do more base damage, sure, and with the recent buff to summons, they go a lot further. But there aren't as many great magic buff options. Attack as Planet Protector and Shout, for example. Nor did they get Life Siphon, which, with the required material like Ace Tracker, can mean Super Soul Break every 3 turns or less. Then again, I'm only speaking from my own party, and I've gotten really lucky with relics for physical characters. Magic could be better for all I know. Thoughts?" So, Ben, thoughts?
Well, this is I love this question, by the way, because it really cracks open a lot of preconceived notions that people have about the game, which is physical parties are the way to go. Something that I think people should realize. I thought about this question for a while, and it posed a lot of good questions. I think yes, in certain circumstances, and a lot later in the game. When you start off playing Final Fantasy Record Keeper, you don't have all the fancy abilities. You don't have the 5-star equipment. What you're stuck with is a whole lot of 3-star swords and a whole lot of characters that's not a lot that you don't have a lot to work with. I remember in the good old days, I had Tidus with Boost and Salve, along with just Cloud and some core classes. My point being, physical parties are the way that most players start out, and it's what they know. Now, there have been certain updates that have presented kind of changes to the game that allow a bit more flexibility. You see, with the advent of the record materia system, you can kind of customize your party in more unique ways. But the where I'm going with this is basically, yes, Magic teams are becoming more viable with record materias like Blood of the Espers and Flower of Trabia. Well, kind of for bosses, most definitely mages are viable, but in order to clear mobs and waves before you get to those bosses, you're gonna have to put a lot more work into your customization. You'll have to use abilities like Flower of Trabia to clear with magic basic attacks and with VV's Record Materia. But I think if you're more developed in the game, if you've been playing for longer, you're able to create magic teams more efficiently. Whereas most teams would be 3 physical attackers, a healer, and then a mage. And that's just due to players not having available to them all the orbs, which is in turn means having available to them all the abilities in order to really utilize a full black mage arsenal. Um, let's face it, it's expensive to be able to hone those black mage abilities to 10 uses. So I think if it is kind of your passion to make a black mage team, it's possible. You talk a lot. You talk, Connor. You mentioned in your question about magic buffing options. If you're truly dedicated, you might want to pick up a dancer. Um, Maybe I'm trying to rack my brain to a black mage who is also a dancer. Could you help me out, Pierre?
There's Kefka, that's
Yeah.
a 4-star dancer. Blah, blah, blah. And other than that, the really good ones, let me check.
So there are options available there if you've been able to draw maybe some special equipment. There's Lulu's Focus, which has a party buff. I guess just this new event, Cerberus shall raises your party's magic. So if you're able to draw that. But I think it's not that magic teams are not as viable. It's just that they're not as available due to kind of the nature of the game.
So to answer your question, Kefka, Yuffie are no, actually, sorry. Yeah, Yuffie can use 3-star black magic. Kefka can use 4-star dancing abilities and 6-star, 5-star black magic.
Oh, wait. I am very sorry. When I said dancing, I meant bard. Dancing is debuffs. Bard is buffing.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Bard, and I think Kefka is also. Yeah, there's Kefka. You've got Aiko that can use. No, actually, she's summoning. So, well, it kind of still works. Then you've got. No, that would be Kefka, I guess. That's the only one that uses black magic, Bard, and Dancer.
Is there even a dance that buffs magic?
Increase the
Or rather,
party
a song.
magic. It's a Bard ability, Mana Spin. Mana Pain, something.
Manus Pian. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Increases the party's magic. Um. So yeah, there's that. That's only 3-star. Bard. Jeez, I'm really kind of. I think. Hmm. I think a lot of my points stand true. That I mean, as lots of players were able to clear the Ultima Buster Nightmare dungeons, Black Mages are very capable. It's just that the bosses in which they shine are a bit kind of few and far between in order to use a full Black Mage party. I think um, I think it's just a lot more reliable to have physical parties. Um, but hey, if I'd say try and push the envelope in the future with having not just one black mage, maybe you have two. I think it might be something worth experimenting with. There are lots of good black mage record materials out there, so I think players should really push the boundaries on what kind of parties they want.
Well, that, and if I may, for the trash cleaning.
Yeah.
Honestly, with mages, because with healers, you just equip the healer recurred materia and you heal your party while you're taking out the trash. But
Hmm.
with black mages, what always kind of buttered me uh, was that they're just wasted hair because you don't want to use their abilities, but they're not hitting much. I've got to say, ever since I finally got Black Mage Awakening, it's been a game changer. My mage now hits as hard as any physical character I have. He's a great addition to all the other combat and everything. So if you don't have that recurrent materia, I would highly suggest you go out and get it. Obviously, you don't want to use that for ultimate battles or stuff like that, but for any kind of normal or extreme, I mean, not extreme, but elite dungeon that has the
Hmm.
usual 3-step tier, you definitely want to have that equipped on your at least one of your black mage. If you bring two, you give Blood of the Espers to the second one, and you're
Yep.
gonna have a pretty good black mage team on there.
And there are ways for mages to clear mobs. You can throw in a Quake or a Runga, and then use um, the uh, Fusoya's ability to regain one usage of your black mage abilities, and that can somewhat help you out when clearing out trash.
Yeah, you're talking about Moon's Grace 2 that
Yes.
restore one black and one white magic at the start of the battle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it definitely can be a good help. However, if you're going to be facing a boss, I still wonder if you don't rather want to have take the chance to have Blood of the Espers and try to
Yeah.
get that double proc instead of getting maybe two extra spell cast, because usually that's what you'll get. So
Yeah.
again, the balance is always up to you. But Connor, thank you for being our first writer. Again, if you have questions that you'd like us to answer or stuff you'd like us to talk about, the email is ffrkcentral@gmail.com, and would be definitely more than happy to discuss about it on the show. So that sort of kind of wraps it up for us. Anything
Yep.
else you'd like to talk about?
No, I think that was a pretty full podcast. We came into this today thinking, yeah, there isn't that much to cover, but we were surprised by those ultimates.
You mean the ones that I thought were released but were not really released yet?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally surprised. Let's see. So, folks, as usual, we can be reached in a whole bunch of different manners. There's the FFRK Central Facebook page that you can use. You can reach me on Twitter at FFRK Central. Ben,
Yep.
can you be reached on Twitter?
Yes. I'm sorry. I can be reached at etanks at etank88 on Twitter.
So that's going to be it for us. And I have to give you the final word, Ben. Otherwise, Purple Nap Nap on Twitch will. Actually, is it? Yeah, I believe it's
Yeah.
him. Will give me the business. So without further
So
ado, go
thank you
ahead.
so much, everybody, for listening and tuning in, and hope you have fun in the next week.
All right. Have fun, folks. Have a good one. And we'll see you next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern on Twitch.